Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Lori. I like to talk about all of the stationery things that I am very passionate about, mainly fountain pens and fountain pen inks. We talk about planning and journaling and sometimes handbags. As you may or may not know, I am an avid morning journaler. I call them my morning pages. It's just journaling first thing in the morning. I try to get all my thoughts from the night before out on paper. I don't worry about grammar or punctuation or how neat it is or how aesthetic it is. I choose a pen that inspires me that morning or an ink that inspires me, and I write. Sometimes I write for a page, sometimes I'll write up to 3 pages depending on what's going on in my life. Sometimes I can't think of what I want to journal, so I just do a to-do list, and it can be sloppy, but it's really like a form of therapy to me. I can't imagine my life without it. In fact, some days if my morning starts out crazy and I don't sit down and write, it'll be like 10 o'clock in the morning and I'll be like, something is off right now, and I can't really put my finger on it, and then I said, oh my gosh, I haven't journaled yet. It's just really an incredible tool for me. And then at the end of the day, I do more like reflection style journaling, and I write in the pages of my Sterling Ink B6 planner, and that's more of a reflection, but I always write with black ink and it's a little bit more refined, and I use complete sentences and make it pretty sometimes, but my morning pages, I just go for it. So something new that I just started with my morning pages at the start of this month, and I mentioned this in my last video, I think, for the first 10 days of March, I used exclusively my Leonardo pens in the morning. Right now, I am using all of my Esterbrook pens. So I kind of go in, I clean them all out, put some new ink in them, and I write for 10 days straight with just that brand. What I realized at the end of 10 days is I feel like I could have gone on for the whole month doing this. So maybe next month I'll do just 2 brands and I'll split the month in half. But after using all of my pens, I thought it'd be kind of fun to just talk about my pens as collections. Why I've chosen the pens that I've chosen from this particular brand. I find it interesting what motivates me to stick with one brand and keep coming back for more pens from a particular brand. So today we're gonna discuss all of my Leonardo pens because they are fresh on my brain because I just use them every day for 10 days. So let's flip the camera around and I will show you all of the pens that I've been using, why I love them, which ones I love the most, if there's any special story that goes along with them, inks that I favor for particular pens, and all that fun stuff. If that sounds good to you and you like videos about fountain pens, be sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you have a good time. All right, let's get into it. These are all of my Leonardos. I will go through each one in the order that I received them, and then there are a few that I need to ink up. They're all my little babies, and they all have a special place in my heart. So I guess we'll go in the order that I bought them. But this is definitely my very first Leonardo, and I love it. It's my only Fiore Grande. And the interesting thing about this pen, see how it's a little loose right here? I did that because I was relatively new to fountain pens. I got it February of 2023. So it's a little over a year. Jay bought it for me in Boston at Apple Boom. It didn't come in the original box that it was supposed to, and then it also didn't have instructions. It was a little bit of a rough start with that store, but they made good. It was supposed to come with ink. They didn't give us ink. They credited us because it was also a little bit more expensive in person than what we saw online. So they made good on everything. All of the videos that I had watched on the Fiore Grande had a blind cap back here. I didn't realize it was just a straight piston fill. So I kept turning this and it has come loose because of it. But it is a piston fill. I have a steel nib here. This has the ebonite feed, which I absolutely love. This does not have an ink window. This is a fine nib. It is numbered, but I don't think this is limited edition. And did I mention that this is the blue Hawaii? I don't think that I did. It's absolutely beautiful. This is a pen that I've been appreciating more recently because it's my only fine nib. I don't know, I've been writing with it and really loving it. For a while, I had Robert Oster Romeo and Juliet in here, and it was really beautiful, but it was a little bit light. I think what's in here now is one of these. I need to look and see. I'm really terrible about swapping out my inks. I'm trying this system where I keep a log. I think I showed this in my last video, but I have to refer to this often because that was the Robert Oster Romeo and Juliet that was in here, and it's so beautiful. It was just a little light coming out of the fine nib, but I do love that ink. So I think, do have it in here. See, this was December 30th, but this is not what's in here now, I don't think. Right? No, that's not the same ink. I think what's in here now is Kujaku, and I love this. I have this in another one of my pens right now, so let's just write with it, and we're gonna go with this. I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. Fiore Grande. See, I really like this fine nib. Steel nib. I feel like they're all a little bit different, and that is kind of what I wanted to focus on. I don't really go back to a brand and buy multiples of the brand if I can't get a variety of looks or a variety of nibs. My Pelikan Brown Black is a great example of a pen that I absolutely love, but I can't bring myself to buy another Pelikan M800 because they all look so similar. I could go with the classic green, but I wanted the brown so badly, and for the price that you pay for this, I just don't see myself buying another one. And I think Leonardo's, they can be very expensive if you buy a gold nib. I do feel like you can get some deals on these, so they're at a price point where you can kind of have fun, get different ones that are different styles. So that is the Fiore Grande with the steel nib. So next up is this beauty. Very similar in style to the Blue Hawaii. This is the sand. And I just think this look is just gorgeous. It almost looks like mother of pearl to me. Again, this one looks like it's numbered but not limited. This also has the silver trim. I don't think I have any Leonardo's with gold trim. Oh no, I have one. Similar to the Blue Hawaii, this is the grande size. It is a piston fill, but the Blue Hawaii is a cigar shape, and the Momento Zero Grande has this top right here, like the little domey top. I'm not crazy about the brands like putting their stamp on the side, but I feel like they do it in a subtle way that it doesn't really bother me. It's subtle enough. This also has an ebonite feed. It also does not have an ink window, but this is a medium nib, and it is also 14 karat gold. So very similar. Yeah, they're both beautiful. This has a little bit more of a whitish silver tint to it, maybe because it's gold. And this is just such a beautiful writer. It's unbelievable. It's my only gold nib. And this seems to be a match made in heaven for me. I do the Sailor Shikiori 5th year anniversary ink in here. And it is just beautiful with my, I feel like I'm in need of a little ink. There goes Lumpy. I feel like I was running a little bit low here. I want to get a nice sample for you. So this is the Momento Zero Grande. Oh, this color is perfect. And this nib is so nice. Lumpy goes under the bed whenever I'm in here. This is a gold nib. And it is medium. Some people might wonder, you know, if you have a pen from one brand, why do you need multiples? And some brands, I understand that. There are so many differences in my Leonardo's that I feel like they keep me coming back for more. This is absolutely beautiful. One of my faves. Okay, next in line was a little bit of an impulse purchase, if I remember correctly. And this is when I used to do lives on my channel before Vanessa and I started the Juicy Broads. I should probably do a live over here again. And I was really unsure about this pen. Even when I look at it now, it's not like the prettiest to look at when it's together. I really just felt like the resins didn't match up at all. And it really, really bothered me. And then if you turn it over here, like this is okay. I really love that it's a matte finish. I believe this was my first Jonathan Brooks material. And there was so much hype of the primary manipulation one, the PM1. It's really not my favorite, but I really do love this pen. And I was intrigued by it all. And this was the first time this was released in a matte finish. You were also able to get it with a steel nib. So I had pretty much convinced myself that I was going to return this. And then the more I looked at it on its own, the more I just enjoyed it. And I love the feel of it. I love the matte finish. They only had a stub nib when I ordered it, which I was excited to try because I already had the fine and the medium. So I got it in a stub nib. The only color I have really put in here is Blushing Mushroom. But as you can see, you can really put any color in here, but it goes so nice with Blushing Mushroom. Maybe we should branch out a little bit. My friend Jeffrey sent me some samples, January 23rd, Desert Inkwell on YouTube. Should definitely follow him. He has a great YouTube channel. And I think that this Ferris wheel press Queen Alien would look nice in here. This has the ink window. It has that gold shimmer in it, and I just kind of want a reason to use this ink. Now, this is not ebonite, but we also have an ink window. So there are different features, like I mentioned, that I like about my different pens. So you can see this is coming down. You can see where the piston goes right down to the bottom there. And let's see if I can get a nice fill on this. I don't know if I'm gonna love it, so I don't know how much I'm gonna put in here, but you know, let's just embrace it. Okay, now I'm a little confused. I think it's Momento Zero Grande, but it looks shorter than this and bigger than these. Help in the comments. See, they're all so different. Okay, but let's see how we like this ink. I'm gonna call it Momento Zero Grande because that's what I think it is. This actually reminds me of Blushing Mushroom. Oops. What is wrong with me? I'm having trouble writing here. Momento Zero Grande is a steel Yovo nib. I like this because you can really see the shimmer in here. I just really love the feel of the matte finish. I really do. It's still not my favorite pattern, but I really enjoy the writing experience, and I always write when it is not posted, and I really like the body of this. I just don't like this part of the cap much at all. But first world problem, you know, it's still beautiful. That's fun. I like the gold in there. It's kind of a fun shimmer, and I don't really think I could get away with that in like the Fiore Grande, and I don't think I would put it in my Momento Zero Grande with the gold nib. I just wouldn't want to put shimmer in that nib. That's kind of like a fun title pen, fun shimmery inks I can use in there, which I really enjoy. I think the next one that I bought was this. This is a sleeper pen. I'll tell you, I love this pen. I got this at the Orlando Pen Show. This was a Dromgoole exclusive. It's a Momento Zero. It's called Mount Olympus. I'm putting a new ink in here for the very first time. I have always put 3 Kings in here. I said that was like my forever ink in here, but I just am itching to try something new. I thought I would try Robert Oster Gold Antigua. I was thinking about Cafe Kurama because I love that, but that's pretty brown. There's Robert Louis Stevenson I think would look nice, but I just put that in a different pen. And doesn't that look nice with the Robert Oster Gold Antigua? I think that looks nice. Well, this has the blind cap. So this is what I thought this had when I purchased it, because I had seen a lot of Fiores that had this. Now this is also a cartridge converter fill. You don't really need to take that off. It's just a very unique pen for my collection. I don't have a lot of like yellows and golds. Another feature that I love about this pen is that the converter screws in. That is just like a little detail that I really appreciate. I'm always worried that my converter is going to come loose, so I love that this screws in. This is a steel nib, but this is with the gold plating. It's the only one I have with the gold plating, which is surprising because I love gold trim on my pens. And this is a medium nib, really branching out here. It didn't get a ton, but that's all right, got enough for us. So this is a Momento Zero. It's not the Grande size. Steel nib, and this is a medium. This is called Mount Olympus. The other thing about these Leonardos, a couple of them that I have are either store exclusives or limited edition. I think the only two that I have that are part of their permanent line are these two, the Blue Hawaii and the Sand. So you can look at all the different pens and see what fits your style the best or your need. Like if you're missing, you know, a stub nib from your collection, or you want to try a piston. So these are both medium. My Momento Zero Grande with the sand, and then this with the steel. They're both beautiful writers. I really love this Jowo nib. I don't know if they tune them at Leonardo before they send them out, but I really enjoy these nibs. And I've also noticed that a lot of my nibs have a different stamp. Let me see here. This is that's the same one. Same one as that. I feel like one of them has the wings on the nib. This one does. Okay, so we are 4 in. We have 2 more to talk about. Here we go. This was actually just featured in my March Inspiration Currently Inked video. I'm really excited about this pen because it was a special grind done for me by the lovely people over at Muse Pens. This is a Leonardo Momento Magico, so a little different than the Grande. It has a similar shape, but the band here is different. And it says Muse Pens right here on the back. They have their little stamp, which is really cool. And this is also numbered. These are limited edition. I think I got 95. Oh, I went with 95 because that was the year I was married. I remember he gave me a choice. They all have the same clip with the little roll here. This is a piston fill, and it has an ink window. This was a broad nib that I had special grind done to, and we turned it into a cursive italic. This is called Lion Rock. They also had a diamine ink by the same name that I purchased when I got this. It's like a brown with a green shimmer. It almost reminds me a little bit of Winter Spice without the blue. It's very pretty. But in here I have Ferris Wheel Press Central Park greens. When I first got it, he did a cursive italic, but the angle that I held it at was very scratchy. If I moved it down a little bit, I could write without the scratch, but I held it up a little bit higher and I just couldn't use it. And then I bought this little micro mesh at Goulet Pens. I think this was the section right here. I took all the ink out and I just kept working the nib until I smoothed it out. I don't recommend doing this at home necessarily because I could have altered, you know, the actual grind. The micro mesh really does smooth it out. So it's beautiful, but I don't have a cursive italic specialty grind. This is the only one I have, so I think I may have softened it a little bit. I could have done a cursive smooth italic or just like a slicey one, and I think we went for the slicey one, and it was scratchy, but now it's not, and I can't stop using this. I love this ink in it. Momento Magico. My apologies. And so it started out as a broad nib, but you can see it is pretty slicey to the side. You can go on a diagonal. So this is a Momento Magico. So it started as a broad, and now it's a cursive italic. This pen could probably still benefit from a tuning, but there's no scratching, which makes me so happy. This is a steel nib, Muse exclusive. Okay. No more scratching. It makes me so happy. This is the last Leonardo that I purchased. I think this was a Black Friday special at TWSBI. That is a company out of Italy. This is the Andromeda. I definitely fed into the hype over this, but I have no regrets because I love this pen. I love the resin. It was my first time purchasing from TWSBI, and am I saying that right? They were so wonderful to deal with. I DM'd them at first. I thought this was sold out. They did have some available. I ended up getting it in a broad nib, which I was really happy to have because I didn't have anything that was broad, except for this one, of course, which had a special grind on it. So this is the same model as this pen, which is Momento Zero. This is also a cartridge converter. So different colored trim, and it's a broad nib. Again, it's got the screw in, which makes me so happy. And this is the ink that I put in here before, and I just really like it. This is technically red. This is Tools to Live By. I bought this at the Boston General Store, and I was really excited about it, but I'm very disappointed with this, how this closes. It's a pretty bottle, but it's just not at all practical. So kind of want to use up this ink because I just think that this is an accident waiting to happen. It doesn't go on, it never did. Doesn't lay flush here. Pretty bottle, but poor design. It's got that ball in there, which I'm terrified to. Did this even dry out? I wouldn't be surprised. I'm afraid to turn it upside down because I feel like we'll have a mess. Yeah, I feel like maybe I won't use this. This is just an absolute mess. Look at this. You know what? I'm afraid to use this. I'm afraid I'm gonna break the glass. And the ball looks like it's stuck there. It's such a great ink too. I'm so sad. It's like the perfect color for this pen. But this was like, I don't even want to tell you how much this cost. It was not a good purchase. And I love that store too. I'm surprised they carry this because their stuff in that store is such high quality. This is a bad one. Okay, I think I am going to pick a different ink. Yeah, so this is the Tools to Live By, and it is such a nice match here, but that is not going to work out for today. This might be a stretch, but this is Robert Oster Izzy Monster, and Brian over at Atlas gave me this ink as a gift when I visited the store, and this is named after his daughter, but it's got a ton of shimmer. No, the purple's not that dark, but it's kind of a different look. You know what? Let's not overthink it. Maybe I will just dip it. I think that's what I'll do. So I am overthinking it. Let's just dip it and we'll give the specs on this pen because it's such a beautiful writer. I'm so disappointed in that other one. Oh, this is such a nice writer. This is so smooth. It's incredible. This might be the smoothest of them all. This ink is actually really nice with it. 2023 cartridge. I think this ink looks pretty nice with it. Sometimes if you look at the swatch, it throws it off, but then when you just see it next to the writing, and I don't think I got a ton of shimmer in there because look at all that shimmer on the bottom. But that is it. Those are all of my Leonardo pens. I love them all for different reasons. And I feel the same way about Esterbrook, and Esterbrook is what I'm using right now for my morning pages. But I really enjoyed doing this. Not only do you get to know a particular pen when you do long form journaling with it, but I felt that by writing with only Leonardo pens every day for 10 days in my morning pages, I felt like I really got to know the brand and I could see the subtle differences between each of these pens. I am going to the Dutch Pen Show this year, and I think they will have a Leonardo exclusive, so I feel like that is probably going to be the next Leonardo that I get. Pink is what I think we're going to get at the Dutch Pen Show, so that will be really exciting. So we'll recap the Fiore Grande Steel Nib Fine with the ebonite feed. I only have two with an ebonite feed, the Momento Zero Grande with the 14 karat gold ebonite feed, the Momento Zero Grande with the steel nib in my least favorite pattern, but I love it anyways. This is so pretty. This is so pretty. I think it looks good with the Robert Oster. And on the next page, we have my Muse pen, which feels like a new pen because it's working for me. And this also has little transparent spots, which is kind of cool too. You can see a little bit there. This is just a really interesting pen, and I love that you have this like lime green mixed in with like the evergreen. It's actually a little unexpected, and I like that. It's very pretty. And then of course my Stilo in Style. This is so beautiful. Little galaxy looking pen. I'm not usually into like the space themed pens, but I loved the color of this. It's like that dark purpley brown color. I love it. Gorgeous. Love this section right here. So obviously next week will be Esterbrook. But if we look here, I have a nice selection of Benu that we can talk about. I have a lot of Pilot pens and I have a lot of Sailor pens as well. And I just ordered another mini to match this little guy. I think I'm selling this one. This is the Sakura, and I bought this in a lot. Oh, it's so pretty though. Maybe not. So these are my Sailors, minus a couple over here, my Lamy. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. All right, let me know what your favorite Leonardo is in your collection, or one that you're looking forward to getting, when you're thinking about getting, one you wish you didn't sell. Anyways, they're a lot of fun. I love Leonardos. They have a lot of character. I will be back soon with another video. Thanks, everybody. All right, that's it for today's video. I do love my Leonardos. They all have a special place in my heart. I love the way that their steel nibs right. I only have that one gold nib. It is fantastic. It's so much fun to explore different brands and to look at the pens that I have in my collection and see what I like about them, what I maybe don't like about them, if I plan on keeping them forever, if there's room in my collection for more of that brand. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more from me. I just got notification from Atlas Stationery that my white SD has been shipped, so I'm very excited about that. So that will definitely be part of the conversation for my SD collection. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye-bye.